that was a short clip from when I tried to record my dad opening his presents that I got him for his birthday, which was yesterday. But I gave him his presents today because I couldn't see him yesterday. Unfortunately, he caught me filming, and then, well, I didn't want to continue filming because then the reactions wouldn't have been genuine. But as it happened, well, the reactions were, they were more internal, shall we say, than external. So it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that I meant to ask him if he wanted to do a vlog with me, and I forgot. So that'll have to wait. But either way, happy birthday, Dad. Let's talk about that. So my dad has been very keen over the years to get me into hobbies that have not involved computers, essentially, and looking at a screen all day, which, while, it's my special interest, so that is a thing, but I do appreciate the value of doing things that are not just the same thing all the time. So one of those things was to try and get me to play golf with him. He's a big fan of golf, you see, and while I was growing up, he would spend every weekend playing golf, pretty much. And some weekdays too, if he was very lucky. And he managed to twist my arm into joining him one time, probably in an attempt to prevent me playing RuneScape. Well, that was the problem. At the time, I was really into RuneScape, so there was no way I was thinking about anything other than RuneScape. So he took me for some golf lessons, and he took me to the driving range, and he took me to the golf club. I had a junior membership, I assume, and we would go around and we would play some golf, and I ended up being really knackered by the end because I was about 9 and I couldn't take it. May have been even younger. But we always used to we'd go around the course and we'd do all the holes, and then at the end we would have a hot chocolate. Well, I think he'd have a pint and he'd get me a hot chocolate. And it was from a machine. It was the wateriest hot chocolate you've ever come across, and it was sweet. We always used to put sugar in it, even though it's hot chocolate, you don't really need it. And I'm describing it, I'm getting the flavour, I can taste it, and I can feel it. It was a very particular kind of hot chocolate, and even though it was awful, it was evocative, and it remains evocative of that time I spent with my dad. Anyway, we gave that up as a bad job because, I was too busy thinking about RuneScape, and so that was that, except I think we came back to it a few years later. I'm not sure exactly what the circumstances were. Maybe he can enlighten us in the comments. And Brain, where have you gone? By the time I came back to it again, I was a bit more focused on the golfing, and I still wasn't really into it, I don't think, but I appreciated being able to spend time with my dad, and that was the key bit, and of course the hot chocolates at the end. But it was never really my thing, and so I gave it up as a bad job again. But I think the main takeaway is the fact that it was something that I did to spend time with my dad, and that was the important part, I believe, and not the immense amounts of money he probably spent teaching me and taking me around the golf course and buying me some clubs. In fact, I've still got I had a club cover, so golfers always have a little cover over one of the clubs, usually probably the most expensive club, but usually like the driver or whatever. And my dad's was always a tiger, just this tiger that you slot over the club. Mine was a crocodile, and you shove the club up its... Anyway, that was our golf adventure. Maybe some other time I'll tell you about the music adventure I had at his behest. Well, partly. It was one of his mates that taught me how to play guitar. Maybe I'll tell you about that sometime. But anyway, that's all for today. So thank you very much for watching. Happy birthday, post-birthday, Dad. And I'll see you all tomorrow.